Hello guys, my name is Balkrishna Shrivastava and welcome to Code with BK. So in this video, we solve ICSE 2024 Computer Applications Boards paper, and the paper was today. I have the question paper with me. So before we begin, it is a request to please subscribe to my channel, because out of 100 viewers, only 1 or 2 are subscribed, and a subscription is very important. So please do subscribe to my channel. Alright? So let's begin. So I will be solving the entire question paper, section A, section B, question 1, question 2 till question 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And I will be sharing all the answer keys, the link to the answer keys, the link to the codes will be found in the description of the video. So make sure that you check the description of this video, and I will also be solving this entire question in Hindi as well. So if you are more comfortable with Hindi, you can find the link to the Hindi video in the description of this channel as well. Okay, so make sure that you check the description of this video. All the helpful links are there. Okay, all right, so let's begin. So we have question 1 part 1, right? So you are given a figure like this, okay, and then you have 4 options to choose. So what I feel is the correct answer is part C, where polygon is the class and pictures are the objects. Okay, now why other 3 are not the right option? Because see, option A is polygon is the object and pictures are the classes. Okay, so you cannot have classes coming out of objects. That's not possible. Okay, then second, both polygon pictures are classes. No, because polygon is depicted differently and these shapes are depicted differently. Okay, both polygon pictures are objects. This is also wrong. Okay, so the most appropriate answer is part C. Okay, then we move on to the next part, which is part 2. You have x equal to 98, cast ch is, this is explicit type casting. What is the value of ch is going to be a, which is lowercase b, right? Because the ASCII value of lowercase a is 97. Okay, so ASCII value of lowercase b is going to be 98. Okay, and in this explicit type casting, the integer part is converted to corresponding character. So we know that every character constant in Java has a corresponding ASCII value. So you get ASCII character, you get the character for ASCII value x, which is 98, so you get lowercase b. Okay, so you should remember the standard ASCII values for standard characters. So lowercase 97, uppercase a is 65, 0 is 48. Okay, all right. Okay, moving on. Okay, part 3. Part 3, we have the output of the statement concentration.index of t is 6. Okay, so you have to basically count where you have to find the basically index where t occurs first in the concentration. So index 0 is C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the first index where you find capital T in this string is index 6. Okay, then part 4th is SS modifier. SS specifier that gives least accessibility is B private. Okay, so the order of SS modifier is private is the least accessible, then protected, and then public. Okay, moving on to part 5. Okay, so my friend was very kind to basically convert the images that I got from a student into a PDF document that he got printed. I mean, so thanks to him. Okay, he did all this hard work while I was solving the paper. Okay, all right, the output of statement talent.compare to genius. Now if you have gone through the solutions that I posted earlier for ICSE 2023, ICSE 2024 Specimen, so you'll understand how compare to works. So talent.compare to and you have genius. Okay, so how compare to works? Compare to basically compares each character from left to right for both the strings. Okay, the index where there is a mismatch, where the characters are not equal, the return value is calculated and returned. So return value at that return value is basically the ASCII value of the difference of the characters. Okay, the difference of ASCII value of the characters. So you have a mismatch at the very first index. So difference is going to be, the return value is going to be ASCII value of t minus ASCII value of g. Now ASCII value of lowercase a is 97. Okay, so ASCII value of lowercase t is going to be 116. Okay, minus ASCII value of lowercase g is going to be 103. Okay, so the return value is going to be 13. So we have option D as 13. Okay, right. Then we moving on to part 6. Part 6 of the following is an escape sequence. So anything with a backslash in Java is an escape sequence, backslash n is change in line, backslash t is tab, backslash r is carry is return. Okay. In this case, you have slash n. Slash n is not an escape sequence. Okay. So we call this backslash as an escape character. And the purpose of adding backslash n is to tell the compiler that I want a new line and not n. Okay. So you add a backslash to tell the compiler, okay, this is the new line and this is the escape sequence. So you have backslash t. Okay. So backslash t is part b, right? So part b is your backslash t, which is your escape sequence. Okay. Double slash n is not relevant. Then slash t and slash n are not escape sequences. Okay. Then we move on to part 7. So part 7, if a greater than b and b greater than c, then the largest number is a. Okay. A is greater than b, b is greater than c. So if a is greater than b and b is greater than c, so a is greater than b greater than c. Okay. This condition is this condition is this. So a is the largest of all. Okay. And this is a standard check. Okay. Then we have part 8. Okay. Part 8 is what is the output of math.ceil 5.4, math.ceil 4.5. Now sealing method is to give you the next whole number value from where you are at the number line or the real number you are at. Okay, for example, consider this room. I am a number, I am a real number. So the floor is going to be the whole value right below, right, just before my current number. For example, if I am 5.4, so my floor is going to be 5, my ceiling is going to be 6. If I am 4.5, my floor is going to be 4, my ceiling is going to be 5. So math.ceil 5.4 will give you 6, math.ceil 4.5 will give you 5, so 6 plus 5, 11. So answer is going to be B, 11.0. Okay, and they usually confuse you by giving two options, 11 and 11.0. Okay, ceil returns a double value, so make sure that you choose always the option with 0.0 and not an integer value. Okay, all right. Then we have part 8 is done, right? Moving on to part 9. Okay, part 9 is what is the method to check whether the character is letter or digit? Is letter or digit char? Part C. Now this method is letter or digit, when you pass a char inside, is a method in character class, character wrapper class of char type, right? This is a starting method. So if you want to check if a character is letter or digit, so basically you do character, this is the wrapper class, then you do is letter or digit. Okay, and then you pass the character you want to check. For example, if char ch is say uppercase a, so this is going to return true. Okay, the return type of this method is true because this is a letter. You can check for a letter or a digit, or if you pass single digit one, it is true. If you pass plus, it is a false. Okay, return is false. Okay, moving on to part 10. The extension of Java source code. Source code is what we write, okay, in the Java file, which is .java, which is part D Java. Okay, let me clear this. Okay, moving on to part question 1, part 11. Okay, the number of bytes occupied by a character error 4 rows and 3 columns. 4 rows, 3 columns, so total 12 character primitive char types. Okay, primitive char values. So 12, and each char data type occupies 2 bytes. So 12 into 2, 24 bytes, right? Okay, so B part is 24 bytes. Okay, sometimes they give you the answer in bits. So 1 byte equal to 8 bits, so you have to do the math there. Okay, in this case they are giving the answer in bytes, so 24 bytes. Then we move on to part 12. Okay, which of the following data type cannot be used in a switch case construct? The answer is D, double. Okay, int and char you could always use from Java 1, right? Since Java 7, string was also added, so you could use string as a type in switch case, but double was never added. Okay, moving on to part 13. Okay, so moving on to part 13. So which of the following are entry control loops? So for and while are entry control loops, do while is an exit control loop, switch is a control flow statement, is not a loop. So answer is 1 and 2, so B part 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2. Moving on to part 14. Part 14 is the method which reverses a given number. Now this is not a very clear question, right? You have to eliminate options so that you get it to the right answer. Okay, so part D is destructor. We don't have destructors in Java. Destructors are basically in C++, that is used to deallocate memory, give the memory back to the computer, right? when you are actually destroying your objects, right? Destructors are in C++. The job of collecting the memory that has been used and is no longer being used by the program is done by garbage collector in Java. We don't have destructors in Java. Constructor is irrelevant here, okay? Because constructor is used to provide initial values, starting values to data members of a class. Then we have two options left: pure method, impure method. Now, pure method is a method which does not change the state of the variables in an object. So the best option here is impure method. Okay, A part, impure method. Okay, 14 is done. Moving on to 15. Now 15th question is, I mean, why are they trying to even confuse you? If the name of the class is yellow, the name of the constructor is going to be exactly the name of the class, which is yellow, right? So it is going to be D, yellow. Okay, it is just a very simple trick question to confuse you people. Then we have 16. Okay, 16 part is invoking method by passing the objects of a class is called call by reference. So it is going to be call by reference. Okay, because when you pass an object, okay, as an argument to a method, the changes in that object are reflected back in the calling function. Okay, call by value is not going to be the answer. Call by values and actually passing the value. Okay, then we have 17. Okay, the correct statement to create an object name mango of class fruit. Now this is again confusing. Your object name is mango. Okay, your class name is fruit. Okay, now what we are used to is classes with first letter in uppercase. Okay, but in this case this is not the case. So a lot of time it happens that you have class name as all lowercase, which is totally fine. It is just that conventionally we take the first letter as uppercase. This class name is perfectly fine as well. It will compile and it will run, right? So with this given class name, with this given object, you create an object as equal to new fruit, okay, which is part B, yeah, which is part B. Okay, there's a typo here. I hope this is part B, right? This is the answer. Okay, for part 17. Going to part 18. Part 18 is, okay, now this is a good one, right? It's confusing as well. Starting method can access static and instant variables. Okay, then reason is static variable can access only by static method. Now assertion is static method can access static and instant variables. False. Static members can only access other static members. Okay, static members cannot access directly in non-static members. So assertion is false. Then static variable can be accessed only by static method. False. Non-static members can access both static and non-static members. So static variables can also be accessed by non-static methods. Okay, all right. So static variables can also be accessed by non-static methods, right? So reasoning is also false. So answer is going to be D. Okay, then we have 19. Okay, if you want proof of any of these, just add it in the comments and I'll add a video and add the link, right? Proving about how this is happening in Java programming. Okay. 19th is what is the output of the Java code below. Color is an array, blue, red, violet. Output color 2 dot length 012 is violet, dot length is 6. So part A. Okay, 6. Okay, moving on to the last part 20. Okay, which of the following mathematical method returns only an integer? Now this is a tricky one, right? Seal, sqrt and float, they return a double value. Round is the only function, so this is going to be part D, math dot round. And okay, moving on to question 2. Now let me just delete this. Question 2. Okay, part 1. Write a Java expression for this. Now you have to write a Java expression, not a statement. You just have to create an expression that will find this value. So numerator is mod a plus b and denominator is under root a square plus b square. Okay, so we do math dot abs a plus b, this is the numerator, by math dot sqrt. Okay, in this sqrt we write a square, a into a asterisk a plus b square, b asterisk b. Okay, and you can put these two in parentheses. Okay, so this is the expression. If you put it to say like double d equal to something like this, is a statement with a semicolon, right? We don't need that. You just have to write this part. Okay. You can use math.power a2 inside, but it makes it even longer. In order to find a square, you can simply do a into a. Okay. So this is part 1. Moving on to part 2. Okay. Evaluate the expression when x is 4. And this is a very good one here, right? So I'll tell you how to solve this. So x equal to 4, and then we have x plus equal to x plus plus into plus x percent 2, right? Okay, alright, x is 4. So I will take the running value of x as 4, right? So this comes out to be, you can expand this at x equals to x plus this entire thing, which is x plus plus into plus x percent 2. Okay, so x is 4. So you do 4 plus 4x plus plus. This is post increment. Value of x is used first and then incremented. Value of x is 4. Used, incremented. 4 becomes 5 now. Into plus x. Plus x percent 2. So plus x will happen first and then percent 2 will happen because this comes above in order of percent symbol. Okay, so plus x is pre-increment. So you increment the value of x first and then use. So x becomes 6, sorry. From 4 it became 5 here. 5 it becomes 6 here. 6% 2. Okay, so you calculate this, you get 4 plus 4 into 6% 2 is 0. 4 into 0, so you get equal to 4. So the answer 2 is going to be 4. Moving on to part 3. Okay. Rewrite the following do while program statement using for x is 10, y is 20. You are given a do while loop. Okay. Alright. So you are starting with x is 10. Okay. Y equal to 20. You are given something like this. Do x plus plus y plus plus and x while x is less than equal to 20. Okay. And then you are given SOP ln x into y. Okay. So what is happening here is this is exit control loop. X starts at 10. Okay, right? X goes in the inside, x plus plus happens. Okay, x becomes 11. Okay, 11 less than equal to 20 is true. Okay, then x goes in as 11 becomes 12. 12 less than equal to 20 is true. So then x goes in as 12. 13 less than equal to 20 is true. Goes in 13. 14 less than equal to 22. Goes in as 14. Goes in as 15. Goes in as 16. Goes in as 18. 17. Goes in as 18, goes in as 19, goes as 20 inside, okay, becomes 21. Okay, it is when x equal to 21 that the loop breaks. Okay, when x becomes 20, 20 less than equal to 20 is still true. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Loop runs 11 times. Okay, 11 times loop runs, x stops at 21. This is running 11 times, so y plus plus is happening 11 times. Y is being incremented 11 times, so 20 plus 11, 31. So here x is 21, y is 31, so output is going to be 651, 21 into 31. Okay, we have to convert this into for loop. Okay, so you can say you have int x comma y. Okay, you say for x equal to 10, y equal to 20. Okay, you can initialize two variables. Okay, before the first semicolon. Stopping condition is going to be x less than equal to 20 only. Okay, then you do x plus plus. Okay, inside the loop you do y plus plus. Okay, this is x plus plus, sorry. Okay, and then finally you print SOP ln x into y. Okay, let me just write it here and then I'll explain this. Okay, so this is the corresponding for loop. X starts with 10, x less than equal to 20. So x starts with 10, goes till 20, runs for 20 as well, right? When x is 20, this runs. X becomes 21, this stops. Okay, so from 10 to 20 it runs. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 11 times this loop runs. After the loop, x is 21. 11 times this loop runs, y plus plus happen 11 times. So you get the same output. Okay, moving on to part 4. Okay, give the output of the following program statement. How many times is the loop executed for x equal to 10? Okay, x is greater than 20. Okay, x plus plus. Okay, then you have system.out.print x, and then after that you have SOP ln x into 2. Okay, So as you guys know, when there is no curly braces after the for loop, then the first line after the for loop is the body of the for loop. So this is the body of the for loop. Okay, this statement will be executed after this for loop is done. Okay, so x equal to 10, x greater than equal to greater than 20 is false. 10 greater than 20 is false. This will loop will never run. Okay, loop runs 0 times. Okay, so loop runs 0 times, x stays as 10. Okay, so when you print x into 2, output is 20. Alright, so output is going to be 20 and loop runs 0 times. Okay, loop runs 0 times, output is 20. Okay, then we have part 5. Okay, so the output of x is going to be 100. Okay, because double dot pass double will convert the strings to its corresponding double value. So d1 is 45.50, d2 is 54.50. 45.50 plus 54.50 gives you 100.0. Okay, explicit type casting is happening when you do int x is explicitly int of d1 plus d2, which is 100 out of 100.0. So the value of x is 100. Okay, moving on to part 6. Okay, what is the following two times and the following questions below? What is the order of the array? Now this is a little confusing, but the order of the array here should be, it has 4 rows and 3 columns, so order should be 4 into 3. Part A. Okay, part B is, what is the value of x00 plus x22? x000 is 4, x22 is 0, 1, 2, 8, 3, 10. Okay, so it should be 14. Okay, moving on to part 7. Okay, unboxing and boxing. So boxing is when you are converting a primitive type value into an object of its corresponding wrapper type. Okay, unboxing is when you are converting an object, okay, into its corresponding primitive value. Okay, I will add the link for all these answers in the description of this video. You can check that out. Okay, you don't have to copy everything. Okay, so you have to correct the statement. Okay, so the correct statement is going to be int x is a dot compared to b. Okay, now what is the value of x here? A is king. Okay, dot compared to kingdom. Okay, now compare to returns an integer value. If the return value is either less than 0, greater than 0 or equal to 0. Less than 0 if a is less than b, greater than 0 if a is greater than b, equal to 0 if a equal to b. Okay, and what do I mean by greater than lesser than here is, if a is less than b, then a comes before b in the dictionary order. Okay, so if you take these two, king will come before kingdom, so return value is going to be a negative value. Okay, how do you calculate that negative value? So compare to basically compares each character from left to right for each of the strings. Okay, and at any index, if there is a mismatch of inequality of characters, it returns the difference in the ASCII values, just as we did the t minus g somewhere here. Okay, so it compares k, same, moves on to next. Compares I, same, moves on to next. Compares n, same, moves on to next. Compares g, same, moves on to next. Okay, now this string has a run out of characters, but this string has more characters. Okay, and this compared to will have to return a negative value to indicate this comes first before this. Now what negative value? The negative value is basically the number of characters this string has less in comparison to this. So this has 3 less characters. Okay, there are 3 extra characters in kingdom. Okay, so return value is going to be -3, indicating this has 3 less characters than the next string, and all the characters in this string are equal to the initial characters of this string. Okay, so return value is going to be -3 in this case in part 8. Okay, moving on to part 9. Okay, part 9 is concept of OOP is polymorphism. Okay, because you are using 2 constructors with different set of arguments, right? With 2 constructors. What is the output? Okay, so t.print is happening and x.print. T is a object with default constructor which sets the value of a to 10. So t.print should give you 10. And when you do x.print, x is an object that takes 30 as an argument, a set to 30. Alright, so output should be 10 and 30. Okay, in separate lines. Okay, println is happening. Okay, then the last one is part 10. Okay, to which package does character and boolean classes belong? A is java.lang. You just have to write java.lang. Okay. Now part B is interesting. Okay, I'll write the part B here. It says that a statement to access the scanner class in the program. How do you access the scanner class in the program? You basically say java.util.scanner. If you want to create an object, you say java.util.scanner sc, okay, any variable name equal to new java.util.scanner, okay, and in the constructor you do system.in. Okay, using accessing the scanner class in the statement in the program is something like this. Okay, so we are done with section 1. Let's go to section B, where I'll show you all the codes in the system. Okay, so this is question 3. Take a minute and give this entire thing a reading. Okay, so this is question 3 solution. Okay, the things that you need to take here is, the first thing, the name of the class is courier, C is lowercase, so make sure that you give the class the exact same name. Okay, then the data type of these are not defined. Okay, so you have to take the best data type for all of these. Okay, then you have accept to accept, then calculate. Now in this calculation method, I have assumed that the first 5 is 100, 800 per kg, next 5 is 700 per kg, then above 10 it is 500 per kg for all the weight after 10 kgs. Okay, so my if condition becomes, for the first 5 it is 800 into 8, for the next 10, okay, next 5 it is first 5 into 800 plus 700 into the remaining weight, and for above 10 it becomes 800 for first 5, 700 for next 5, and then 500 for the remaining weight. Okay, and if the type is international, my bill is plus equal to 500. Okay, also you have to take care that when you are reading the type, there is no separate method in scanner class to read a single character. Okay, so you have to read next line, and then you have to get the first character as caret, stored into type which is char. Okay, also when you read a double value and then you do next line, okay, so you will be reading that extra change in line after the double is input, right? So make sure that you add extra next line. All right, okay, so let me just run this. Okay, name is Balkrishna. Okay, weight is 31, address is Bangalore, Bangalore, India, type is I. Okay, so for 31 kgs, basically for the first 5 it is 800, so 4000, then for the next 5 it is 35, so 7500 plus 500 into 21, 10,500, so 10,500 plus 7,500, which is 1,800, plus 1,500 will give you 1950. Okay, question 4 is this. Okay, you have to basically overload the perform method. Okay, so this is your question 4 solution. Okay, pretty straightforward. In this you just have to calculate the value of CSA. Okay, in the next one you have to create the pattern, okay, based on R and C. So R is the number of rows. Okay, so for 4 rows you have 4 lines of output, and for C equal to 5 you have 5 values. Okay, now I'm not, so this is taken from the, this is copied from the question paper, so I'm not sure if there is a space between 1 and 2. Okay, I have kept a space between 1 and 2 and all the numbers in the column, right? It depends upon the original question paper if you had to place space between them or not. Okay, then M, N and CH, you basically find out the quotient and the remainder based upon this CH. Okay, so quotient is going to be integer division, M by N gives you the quotient, remainder is going to be M%. Okay, so let me just do the first one. Okay, integer 1, which prints the pattern. Okay, so 1 2 3 4, when I say C is equals to 4 5, it will give me the output. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. Let me just call the second perform. Okay, that takes 2 double values, gives me the CSA. Okay, then finally calling the third perform function, that basically gives me the quotient or remainder. So I have to find the remainder of 12 by 5, which is 2. When I pass Q, it gives me the quotient of 12 by 5, which is again 2. Okay, let me take some other values, say 18 by 5. Okay, 18 by 5 quotient is 3. Okay, oh sorry, 19 by 5 going to be 3 again. 19 by 5 quotient is 3, and 19 by 5 remainder is 4. Okay, moving on, we have question 5. Okay, class to some even number, a number from the user, check your even pair. Okay, take a minute, read this question. Okay, so this is my question 5 solution. Okay, right,
I have an SF method to use to create a scanner class object, read an integer. Okay, I've taken two helper methods. You can make them as private as well, because this is the function I need to call, okay, from outside the class. This basically check if this integer is a palindrome or not. This basically checks if this digit has even sum of digits. Okay, is palindrome is basically checking if the number is a palindrome or not. Number is palindrome if the reverse of the number is the same as the number. Okay, so basically I convert the number to string and then I check if it is the string is palindrome or not. Okay, to find the sum of digits, okay, I basically iterate, convert the integer to string, iterate the entire string, pick up each character in the string which is basically a digit, and add the digit. Okay, finally I call is even pal. If it is both palindrome and even, it is even pal, otherwise it is not. Okay, so in the main I'm creating an object calling functions. So let me just run this. So I'll enter 121 is the sample input, right? 121 is even pal true. Then I say 11211, again is going to be even pal. Let me try something else, say 434. Okay, not even in pal because 4 plus 4 8 11. Okay, if I do 4 to 4, it is even pal. Okay, moving to question 6, define a class to values into 4 into 4, and then you have to check if the array is diagonal or not. Okay, so we go to this. Okay, so I create a 2D array of type int, and in my constructor I provide memory to this array. In my SF method I read all the values into this array, and then I use this method to find the sum of left diagonal and right diagonal elements. Okay, right, if the sum of left diagonal and right diagonal equal to row equal, it is diagonal array. So left diagonal is where I and j are equal, right diagonal is where I plus j equal to n minus 1, which is n is basically the size of the number of rows or number of columns, which is 4, which is 4 minus 1 is 3, so I plus j should be equal to 3 for right diagonal. Okay, things that you need to take care in this is basically this only, these two if conditions only. Okay, that find you the left and the right diagonal, and it is in the question it is printing the sum of the left and the right diagonal. You don't have to actually print the sum, you just have to check if the print appropriate message if the array is diagonal or not. Okay, so I'm not printing the sum of left and right diagonal elements, I'm just printing it is diagonal array or not. Okay, so 4 into 4 integer values, I will say enter 3425 3425 2523 2523 5327 5327 1371. Okay, okay, it is still diagonal array. Okay, because 7 1 and 1 are not included in the calculation. Okay, all right. Okay, next is question 7. So this is question 7. Okay, so you have to basically create class pin code. Now this says class pin code. This is, I mean, I'm assuming the name of the class is pin code, so I've taken the class name of the class is pin code. Okay, so the given pin code is in a single dimensional array. That's what I've done. Okay, pin code is basically all the pin codes that have been given are 61 01 29 23 55 06 19 033. Okay, 336 28. You have to use selection sort ascending order. So I have done this code of selection sort in ascending order. Okay, and then you have to display the sorted array. Okay, so I've created an object called selection sort and display. Okay, the values are all hard coded, so you see all in ascending order 01 06 19 23 29 33 55. Okay, then we have the last question, question 8, which is to check if the email is valid or not. Okay, the based on what is given in the question, a Gmail ID is valid only if it has a.gmail.com. Okay, all these should be there within the email ID. It means it is a valid email ID. Okay, so the check for that is you take with the boolean fact true, and you keep checking if it contains @.gmail and com. Okay, if even if after all these checks, if it is still true, it is a valid Gmail. If it is not, it is not a valid Gmail. Okay, so if I run as ICSE 2024 at gmail.com, okay, valid. Okay, if I run this as my contact ID code with bk at gmail.com, okay, valid Gmail ID. Okay, now even if I do a say Gmail, okay, code with bk at .com, okay, still it is valid because it still contains Gmail, still contains at, still contains dot, still contains com. This question does not specify the order in which this should be contained. Okay, so we are used to the fact that the email should be ending with @gmail.com. Okay, you should go by the requirements of the question. A Gmail ID is valid only if it has this. So if you write this code, okay, you should be good. Okay, if you want to write a code that ends with, you can do something like this. If it ends with gmail.com, it is a valid email, or it is not. Okay, So this was the solution to this entire paper, and I hope this was helpful. So make sure that you check the description of this video. Okay, all the important links are in the description of this video, and this solution is also solved in Hindi. So the link to the Hindi solution will also be in the description of this video. All right, please like, please share, please subscribe, and please let me know your thoughts in the comments. And you can always let me know in the comments if there's a question you want to solve or if there's a concept you want to discuss. Thank you.